Welcome to the NFL version of ProLine, direct from Las Vegas, the gaming capital of the world. It's week 5 of the NFL season. I'm John Cranton, joined by Las Vegas handicappers Hollis Barnhart and Zach Cimini. We're going to take a look at the upcoming games for the weekend. But first, let's tell you what we have going on. Harvard, a 38-20 run in all sports since August 1st at 60% winners. 80% winners with your best bets here on the show. You're off that September NFL game of the month on the Dallas Cowboys. You have a situational game of the year going Saturday in college football. Tell us what that situation is.
Well, the situation, I don't like to use situational handicapping that often, but this is a game that's been in a situation that has never lost. And that's going back to a database that goes all the way back 34 years. It's going to be my situational game of the year. It's one of those things where you can't sit there and say, well, let's see how it does, or I'll wait, because you know what? It might not come up for another year, might not come up for another, 6 weeks, 6 months. You never know. As far as my best bets, I lost with Jacksonville last week. They were in the game, but it's still a loser, 80%. Yeah, I can't stand that because I hate to get that first loser out. But the best thing to do is come on board for this weekend. I have my situational game of the year Saturday, my college steam. Remember that word, steam, 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 steam. Wise guy. The big wise guy steam move, play of the month. And then I'm going to follow it up Sunday with my NFL upset of the month. And you can get all three for $66. And let me explain that. That's $22 a ball game. If you bet $200, you're still paying the juice, which is what, $20? So here's your choice. Here's what you got to look at. You can sit there and pay the bookie $20 for every loser or pay me $22 for every winner. It's yours to decide, but I'm going to have it all, and it'll be up at jimvice.com shortly.
All right, very good. And Zach, let's go through some numbers for Zach. 14-8 with Saturday college football plays. Also in the NFL, 9-4-1. In fact, you're undefeated on Sunday. 2-0-1. You got there easily with the Colts and Tampa Bay, an underdog winning straight up. And then the Eagles, either a push, and the Eagles couldn't quite get there on that last-second touchdown. Were you throwing stuff at the TV screen?
You know what? I was just happy after the way it was fortunate that they got the 3 touchdowns in the first half based on special teams and defense. So to see the way that game was shaping up, I was glad the 49ers only got a field goal on that game-deciding drive. So I'll take that 2-0-1. I'll take that any week. And actually, there was a couple of games I left off the board I wish I would have put on there, but there were 6 bye-week teams. I wanted to keep the play simple last week. But this week, I should have 4 plays back to the normal, only 2 bye weeks this week in the NFL. And I'm already eyeing a few games of college football. I should have the plays up by Thursday on jimvice.com.
All right, and Jim Feist off a 7-1 run with high roller football releases back to 5-0 over the weekend with Ohio State and Nebraska on Saturday, and then Sunday you get the Colts, Ravens, and Texans. These plays go for $500 minimum. However, he's releasing a rare high roller release online. It's going Sunday in the NFL, and it's only $99 at jimfeist.com. If you want to play early on Thursday, too, Jim has an NFL division dominator. You can find those plays and more at jimfeist.com. All right, let's get to our first game, guys. It's going to be going on Sunday. You got the Bears and the Panthers. The Panthers 3-point favorite, total of 45.5. Here's a pair of teams that have been struggling despite the fact that much was expected of them. For the Bears, it's their 3rd road game in 4 weeks. In fact, it's part of a stretch playing 4 or 5 on the road. Boy, did they come off that dud, losing at home in a showdown game with the Packers, 38-17. Bears were worst in the NFL at stopping the run last year. Not much better. They ranked 20th, giving up over 122.5 points per game. So, Hollis, what is going on with this Chicago Bears team? Do you trust them?
Well, no, I can't trust them. I like them. I mean, they're one of my favorite teams. I like Jay Cutler. I like Matt Forte. In fact, I think you're going to see a large dose of Matt Forte this week. Carolina is just number 27 against the run. Cam Newton, he spends most of his time on the back this year as compared to his 3 touchdown throws. He's had 9 sacks. But let's look at this from a contrarian point of view. Why is Carolina favored by 3? All right, well, we'll throw in the home field advantage. It's worth 3 points. But let me tell you why they're worth laying the 3 points. They're 7-3 at home. They play very well. The Bears are 8-21 against the NFC. They just play a different style when they play them. The last 29 games, they've won 8. This is their 3rd road game in 4 weeks, like you mentioned. And they just played horrible against Green Bay. They had the game pretty much tied up at 17 and then just fell apart. I'm going to take the Panthers. I'm going to lay 3 points, and there's something about that. And you know what? You can't always sit there and label a reason on why you want. Every once in a while, it just has to be something that you feel. And I've been doing this for 31 years, and I had this feeling that Carolina is just going to play that perfect game. Chicago's still struggling, and I don't know why they're struggling. It's not up to me to figure that out. But the money's talking, and it went from 2.5 to 3, and I'm going to take a little dose of that line movement.
Well, the situation certainly gives a little edge to Carolina. Third home game in 4 weeks for the Panthers. The bad news is they're not doing a heck of a lot right either off these 2 games against the Steelers and the Ravens, losing 37-19 and then 38-20. You mentioned they're just not rushing the football, 29th in rushing, which is a surprise. And even the run defense, which has been so good the last couple of years, has really fallen off this year. 27 against the run, giving up over 140 yards per game. So, Zach, has Carolina called you at all to play middle linebacker this week?
Hey, before you answer, what's D'Angelo Williams' status?
He did not play.
Right.
He got 34 yards on 11 carries, just 3.4 yards per carry. So,
but I think he might be out this week.
Yeah, John Stewart's been filling in, but he's only averaging 3 yards per carry. So it's quite a few problems.
Yeah, with this game, I just don't like Carolina right now. I think they're one of the easiest teams to diagnose based on their first half performances, and they just haven't been doing too well. This past week against Baltimore, they just couldn't get anything going offensively. Linebackers are shutting down the run. Cam Newton's not able to run the football either, their quarterback. And really, their one spotlight on offense right now has been Kelvin Benjamin, their rookie wide receiver. But those are done only for big plays, so they don't have anybody over the middle to catch the ball right now. And Cam Newton is frustrated. We saw two years ago when he gets frustrated, he's sitting on the bench by himself, sulking. And I saw that highlight in the second half, and I just captured that moment for this week here. In Chicago, this is a team that is always spotlighted on when Jay Cutler has an awful game. Year after year, they started talking about Jay Cutler being overrated, spotlights on him, and they just keep coming back. He keeps bouncing back and performing well. He's still got the same talented offensive players. In that game, what was it, 21-17 before the half against Green Bay, if they didn't try to go for it, if they would have just went for the field goal instead of trying to go for the touchdown, could have been a totally different game. Momentum swung. Green Bay scored a quick touchdown. Then the interception started piling up as Jay Cutler just got frustrated. And that's the way he plays. That's his style. But if he threw that touchdown before the half, they would have been up by 3. Who knows what type of momentum that would have carried over to the second half. So Chicago's just one of those teams. Every year they stay around 500 before injuries start adding up, either with Jay Cutler or whatnot. But this team, the way Carolina's playing, this line's 3 right now. I think it's a safe play to have. I don't see Carolina blowing this game out. So if anything happens, you can get a solid push here, and just wait for the line movement maybe to go 3.5. But don't let it go down to 2.5. I wouldn't play it at that number. If you can get it at 3 this early in the week, let's go ahead and take it and take your Chicago Bears.
So you're leaning to the dog in this one?
Yes.
All right, well, the underdog in this series is 5-0-1 against the spread. Also, the road team is 4-0-1 against the spread. I'm going to take a look at the total. I don't see a heck of a lot of defense here, and it's not that high of a number. The Bears, they can pick up yards and points in big chunks with their air and pass it in their ground attack. But, boy, can they stop anyone? Big problem last year. It's still a problem this year. The Carolina defense just is not as good as it was a year ago. They did have some key losses in the offseason. Do like some of the offensive players with Greg Olsen and Kelvin Benjamin. Good targets for Cam Newton. And the Bears, when they go on the road, 14-3 over the total. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game on Sunday.